Hello, welcome back again. And today I'm really pleased to be joined by Narelle Weber from Under Down Under Tours. Hi, Narelle, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, Simon. And you?
Very well, very well. We've just been having a chat before this about Tasmania and how much we love the island. I'm sure there's a lot of people desperate to get down there, so it's really nice to be joined by you and a chance to talk about what makes Tasmania so special. So to start with, Narelle, I wanted to ask you, what is your particularly personal connection to Tassie?
Well, I was born and bred here. Um, I had a long stint of about 20 years living elsewhere, however, and I've recently returned, bringing back a family and started a new workplace here at Under Down Under, and really sort of seeing Tassie again through new eyes. So it's been just a really great experience for me returning home.
And you lived in Bondi, so I mean, a lot of people would imagine Bondi being well. Obviously it's a beautiful place to go to live, but you went back to Tasmania. What was it? What was your first instinct when you got back to Tasmania, and how did you react seeing it with fresh eyes?
Well, Bondi was a great place to live, and we didn't leave it lightly. But we had two boys and another one on the way, and it was a lifestyle change for us. Really, we wanted to have the Tasmanian lifestyle and lots of opportunities to get the boys outdoors in nature, and for us ourselves, there's so many different things that you can do and explore here, which we just didn't seem to do, stuck in the Bondi bubble. So it's been a really great transition moving back to Tassie, and we're just spoiled for choice. We've got lots of different options every day, and we have to sort of pick and choose what experiences we want.
So that Tasmanian lifestyle, just explain that to us.
Well, I live in Hobart. That's where our office is here. We within an hour and a half, we could be surfing. We could be on Bruny Island, on some of the best beaches in Tassie up on the east coast. We could be in Mount Field National Park, which has snow in winter. There's even skiing, which most people don't know about. We really are just, like I said, spoiled for choice with so many different options from the forest to the coast, and that's what we love about it. There are lots of different skills and adventure activities that we can give our kids here, but Tassie's still got a really great community feel about it. We're really experiencing that, and Hobart is just a vibrant city to experience now. It's very, very different to when I left 20 years ago. The food culture here has just exploded, and we're really enjoying that aspect as well.
And you would have known about that a bit before you travelled back. But have you had? But even for somebody who I guess you would have had family there or have family there and moved back, are you still discovering new things each day?
All the time. Yeah, I'm making a point of it actually. Every weekend we get the kids and go out and do something different. Last weekend I was in Snug Falls, which is a little hidden gem that most people may not know about unless you're a local. But we go to the popular places too. Mount Field is a really great place that we love exploring and hitting up different aspects of the park. So you can go to the same place many, many times and just have a different experience. And yeah, we feel very blessed to be living here.
And of course, so you traded life in Sydney. You were working already in an element of tourism, but you started a job at Under Down Under. Tell me what first attracted you to the business in particular, and you were describing one of your first tasks that was particularly enlightening. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, so I really wanted to get back into tourism. Most of my career was in the international volunteer and travel programs. I had a brief stint with Conservation Volunteers, just a tremendous non-profit organising conservation volunteer programs in the community. But the move back to Tassie, I kind of reassessed and I wanted to get back to my roots in tourism. I loved it. I loved the industry. I loved nature. And I was really introduced to Andrew, the owner, by a friend, and it sort of happened organically. But I did my homework, and it looked like they were, Under Down Under was running great programs, but also the eco-certification. It sort of connected with my passion for sustainability and conservation, and so I thought the marriage of those things would be a really nice fit for me. So I accepted the role last year, and the first thing I was tasked with was doing the renewal of the accreditation. So, getting deep into all of the different processes, and that was a really great experience too.
And you were saying that as a born and bred Tasmanian, you spotted a gap, didn't you, in that certification process with Ecotourism Australia, and got to do some Aboriginal training in Aboriginal culture.
I did. We've done various things with Aboriginal sort of groups and so forth in the past, but the auditor suggested, why don't you go out and do a training yourself? And so I took her up with that. I did a cultural awareness training with the Aboriginal Cultural Centre here in Hobart. And it was just such an amazing experience. And as a Tasmanian, it really sort of opened my eyes to the lack of information I had about Tasmanian's Aboriginal history here. And I think it's a great opportunity as a tour operator to sort of, I guess, switch it up a little bit. So much information is known and understood and conveyed about our European history, the last 200 years, our convict history. It's well known, it's well understood, and it's well discussed. Whereas you've got those tens of thousands of years before, where you've got a vibrant Aboriginal community here and stories to tell. And I think guests are missing out if they don't get that opportunity. So that's what I'm looking forward to, working with our guides when the season opens up again for us.
Yeah, and we were saying the other day that obviously, yeah, this is a sort of starting point. So this is something you're going to do more of and introduce. But we the other day were blessed to have Beck Sampe from the Kimberley on, and she was talking about the need to just really, yeah, as you say, raise the bar initially, and to let people know about Aboriginal culture, meet Aboriginal people, eventually get to more familiar with the fact that that's a possibility. It's still quite surprising, isn't it, that it's so non-integrated into things, but tourism has a real role to play in that. Tourism seems to be in a position to be able to lead the way. So what do you think is the sort of next steps for the business in terms of those kinds of advances?
I think the interpretation and the quality of that, and making sure that it's not ad hoc. There's a little bit of consistency in the product. Is definitely something I want to work towards. The training, I think, would be really beneficial for our guides to undertake, and we have to figure out a way to incentivise or to facilitate that experience, because there's nothing better than that firsthand. It was delivered by an Aboriginal person. It was very authentic. It spoke from the heart, and I think that'll have the most impact on our guides, who are really, they're the face of the organisation, and if they can deliver the message respectfully, authentically, and with integrity, then that's going to reflect on our organisation and just be, I think, better for the experience overall.
So you're going through these. I mean, so in Tasmania, it's all about really about the landscape. It's a sub-Antarctic island. I mean, I think that's something a lot of people kind of forget. We've got colonies of breeding albatrosses and peculiar wildlife that is found nowhere else on Earth. Tell me what it is that people experience when they travel through Tasmania. What is the thing that international visitors first surprises them, and how do you think domestic travellers from Australia could actually gain from the same kinds of experiences?
It's a very multifaceted question.
It is rather, sorry.
So I think international travellers. So the main product we do multi-day tours, day tours, and an adventure activity here in Hobart from on Mount Wellington. But the very first thing that most people will experience is that they'll head out to the west coast, and there you've got raw, rugged Tasmanian UNESCO World Heritage wilderness. And I think that rainforest, the mountains, and that glaciated landscape is just something that you have to smell and feel and breathe the air and experience firsthand. I think that the diversity then of going up into Cradle Mountain, there's a reason that it's a highlight and everybody wants to go there. It is just breathtakingly beautiful. And you're getting some experiences with wildlife. There's plenty of wombats to be seen up in Cradle, wallabies galore, etc. In Strahan, we look for platypus by our accommodations there. But by the time we transition over the east coast, you've got some of the most beautiful, breathtaking beaches in the world. and lots, of course, of storytelling along the way. We transitioned down through Freycinet National Park. Again, Wineglass Bay has to be seen and experienced to really understand why it's on so many postcards. So I think that diversity is a really great thing that Tassie offers. From coast to coast, you just get a very different experience. And then you've got some terrific day tours from, if history is your thing, then down on the peninsula and scenery as well. You won't get much better than the Open Air Museum of Port Arthur. And down on Bruny Island, that's, the secret's out. It used to be a locals' paradise, but now there's visitors that also see the natural landscapes and the terrific food and food culture that's emerged out of there. So I think domestic visitors can and will appreciate those things as well. Domestic visitor may, if they've got lots of time on their hands, get in their car, come across from the Spirit of Tasmania, or bring their caravan and take a bit of time, or hire a car here. But I think, in this sort of time that we're in, domestic travel still might be a little bit tighter on time. So then, a hassle-free, organised experience will be a great way to get a really great taste of Tassie and hopefully come back again in the future.
I think you're right, and I showed a few images there. You particularly run, you do cycling, soft adventure, cycling, walking, and so on. So getting out of your car is the other option as well. I think when you do that, being able to be with a group of people like-minded is probably really valuable as well. I guess you would agree with that, I'm sure.
I would, and I think there's a time for isolation, and then there's a time for shared experiences. And small group tours, getting out in nature, walking and hiking around Tassie, I think that has, particularly today, a lot of meaning and a lot of opportunity for people to feel good again about getting outside and having those personal connections. And Tassie, Tassie has lots to offer there.
I think we'll end on that point. I think that it's the value that you've put there about being outdoors is something that people are certainly going to be thinking a lot more about than they have over the last few months. And yeah, I can't think of anywhere better, the fresh air of the southernmost island in our wonderful country. Narelle, love to talk more. I'm sure there'll be many people who would like to know more as well. But they can check out your website and Down Under Tours. Of course, jump on the Wildiaries as well. Follow us all. We're all on social media, and get in touch if you'd like to know more. We'd love to hear from you. Narelle, thanks very much for your time. It's been a pleasure to talk.
Likewise, thanks, Simon.
Cheers. Bye bye.